Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of people online talking about their thoughts regarding, Akira Toriyama's death. Um, I'm just recording this for me, really. Um, but I don't really get super upset about, celebrity deaths, because, I mean, they're people I don't know, you know. And I am sad, of course. Um, the thing you have to understand when it comes to someone like Toriyama is that both what he made and what other people made because of him is so immeasurably more vast than any one man could ever be. And so I don't have a lot to say about Toriyama the man, besides thank you? Thank you. And also, well, not and also, just thank you. Um, the last year, I've actually been. When I was younger, I was a huge Dragon Ball fan, and I mean Dragon Ball. I watched the original series before Z, which is rare for a Western kid. I watched it on the Cartoon Network website. Um, and that's how I got into it. And I wanted to see Z, because it was like, oh, this is the continuation. I already know this is a thing that exists. Hell, I watched all of GT. I was so invested, and don't watch all of GT, but but I did because I cared, you know. And that kind of big fixation went away for a while, um, from the ages of like young teenager to, well, really like this past year, the year of being 21, 22, and now 23. Kind of. I've been getting back into Dragon Ball, um, and I'm getting into it like as strong as I did when I was younger, if not stronger. Just something about it. Things kind of lined up, Um, I took a trip to Pennsylvania, from where I live, North Carolina, with family for a lot of, complicated personal reasons. And during that trip, when I was already in a very unique and vulnerable emotional place, simultaneously, right? And this is going to sound silly, but Twitch streamer, I think he's on Twitch, Lythero, and his Dragon Ball Fighters videos caught my eye. And at about that same time, YouTuber Totally Not Mark, a very well-known and respected anime, and particularly Dragon Ball, figure, started his retrospective slash full series review on Dragon Ball Z. And between me already getting back into it and finding new appreciation for, the story and themes more than I did when I was younger, but also reappreciating, like, yeah, this is just, like, fucking cool, I kind of got both sides of that aisle with, the stuff I was watching at the time, and then, Totally Not Mark and Team 4 Star, announced quote unquote season 4, not really, of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is something else, And that's another thing. The creator commentaries for Dragon Ball Z Abridged had been airing for several months at that point, and that was also getting me back into the fold. And it's like, so now I had all these angles to appreciate Dragon Ball from, the angle from, the comedy and togethership it can bring, the angle of its story, characters, and themes, and the angle of you know, how fucking cool its fighting is, and it's just. And now I'm sharing it with my little brother for the first time. He's just turned 13, which is, young teenager. Perfect time to become a Dragon Ball fan. It's just. I don't think I'll ever properly be able to fully understand how much Dragon Ball. I'm fully aware of how much it affected me, but there is so much. It's so heavily affected, like, popular media, period. It's one of the most iconic and beloved stories and properties of all time. Which is funny, given that it's an adaptation of an existing legend, but that's beside the point. So, 68 years old, very young, all things considered. But in that lifetime, holy shit, so much accomplishment, And, yeah. So, I don't really have anything big to say about, any big conclusions to draw about the effect of Dragon Ball on media or on me or anything else. I just want to say that it had that effect. And none of that would have been possible without Akira Toriyama. So, again, really all I can say is thank you. And, well, rip.